Hello, everybody. Jim Malone here, coming to you live on Dallas Trading Floor. It is a Monday. We're a Monday. It looks like the market is continuing to pull back, and the tech stocks. Oh gosh, we're having some difficulty there. Definitely down. I had to rejigger my portfolio. I sold off some of my shares. I definitely sold off Macy's. I made out with a little profit, but not a lot. I just gotta stop round tripping this stuff. Also, it seems as if the oils are starting to look good. I have a buy in that area, and then I have also two spread trades for you that I made, and just kind of just look at the progress. Don't have anything new today, but just kind of wanted to show you the progress on these. So, without further ado, let's get into some of the slides here before we take the before we take the questions from everybody here. So let's get into the slides. All right. Well, basically, what's happening here is the Nasdaq and the S&P are holding above the 50-day line, but there's sort of a rotation going on from some of the tech stocks um, into some of the more, I don't know, cyclical type stocks. The oils are doing well, but the other stuff is off. Just kind of wanted to show you how the Qs are looking. The QQQ, of course, this is the NASDAQ 100. And see if I can zoom in a little bit. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit here so you can kind of see this. Yeah. Okay, so let's see if I can, try to zoom in. That's not, that's the wrong way. I'm going the wrong way here. Let's see now. This should give us a bigger look here. Yeah, there we go. All right. So basically, what's happening here looks like the Qs are coming down and testing the 21-day line. Now, hopefully, we'll get a bounce tomorrow. We definitely probably will because after hours we do have a bounce. 376. Now, what the QQQ is that all of the largest shares in the Nasdaq are in this are in this ETF. So, kind of use it to track sort of the market. Typically, mostly a trader of growth stocks, and there's a lot in here. This is where Apple is. This is where Microsoft is, but it's also where some of the other more fast-moving names like CrowdStrike are. So we're definitely coming down. Hopefully, we're going to test here at the 21-day and we'll bounce. We'll see, but it does appear the market is sort of moving a little bit slower now. I've been moving into cash, and that kind of seems like kind of to sum everything up. I want to show you the stock of the day, and this is from the Investor Business Daily. But interestingly enough, I bought this one this morning, not knowing that this is going to be the stock of the day. This isn't really a stock; it's an ETF, exchange traded fund. It's the Spider ETF. Now, it looks like we're going to get some more sector rotation, and when we get the sector rotation, we're going to see funds move into some of the oils, and that is why the Spider Sector ETF is the one that I am in. I bought a full position in it only because this covers all of the small E&P companies. So it does look like oil is going to it's going to come roaring back. Interestingly enough, the Biden administration has put in some rules on the EVs, and this is going to be very bad, unfortunately, for Tesla and a lot of the other ones. It's I don't know. I tell you, that's the gang that can't shoot straight for some reason. But it does look like they're going to put some new taxes on all all EVs that are not made or not made with a union, are going to have this special tax on it. Or I don't quite understand it yet, but apparently it's going to kill the prices of Tesla probably, and of any of the Honda and Toyota products, because they have non-union. I guess they have non-union assembly plants for their EVs. Not sure exactly what the deal is there, but interestingly enough, we're going to probably see some strength in the oils, and of course, used cars are all time low. So. In terms of availability, so we have a chip shortage, so we're going to see some stagflation, unfortunately. And one of the things that we see in stagflation is the price of oil typically goes up. So it does look like where we're backing off a little bit on this last 2 or 3 months. it looks like we may be coming back in for some more for some more stuff with the oils. So yeah, it's just it's kind of sad. But anyways, we're going to see probably more of that. I want to show you two option plays that I have out there. One, and this is one I don't know if you saw. This is Merck. We just opened this one today, and it is trading. I think Merck is. Let me just check here. The price of Merck. MRCK. That's going to give us the exact. Um, MERCK is. I think that's it. I have to go back to MERCK. That's it. I think I'm back now. I think I'm back in this video. I was trying to show you something, and that was not coming through. So let's see if I can. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so let's if I can get. I don't know if I can get Merck up here, but anyways, let's just show the slide. I'm just going to kind of show you how that's trading. Let's see. Sorry for this. I killed one of my charts, so I have to get it back up here. So let's MER. Well, okay. Sorry about that. I'm gonna just have to put up what I've got here, and that is the that's this screen here. So there we go. All right. So basically, this is a spread trade. We're a little bit off on this one today. It's trading at about 73. So we're off about $15 on this one. Hopefully, we'll see this move higher. If not, we'll probably be this because this is a bull call spread. Probably, if this doesn't react the right way, we'll probably change it up. I do have another one though that's probably better. It's a little bit further along. It is a bear call spread on 3M, and this one's doing quite well because the price of 3M has been going down. So as this stock goes down, and as of the close for 3M, it was at 185.16. So that kind of gives you, well, it's going to be the fair value is about $50, and hopefully as it moves lower, it will go up in value. And of course, this gives you a credit of 165 per options contract, and it expires on October 15th. So we'll be keeping track of this one. And by the way, if you do have the link, you can take a look at this one because I've updated this information in it. But currently, it's trading. The price is 185.16. It's up a little bit, but still down overall. So the bear call spread is working. Just want to kind of show you what currently I have exposure on. I have Apple. It's up just slightly. There's it's right at that 150 level. Just can't seem to get out of its way. Nvidia retreated significantly today. It's down to 220. This is sort of this should be a sort of a level of support here at about 220. ST Micro is up again, so I just keep on this one. Palantir is a little bit down. I did trim my position on this one. Robert Half is down just slightly. Top Build, this is the one I had on Friday. It's retreated as well, and PerkinElmer has retreated. I did move some money into Goldman Sachs. It's up a little bit. It's sort of in this 400 to 415 range. Trex down a little bit, and of course I told you about the XLE that I bought this morning. So that's kind of the long and the short of it. So let's get into the questions, and hopefully I can get all these technical things going correctly. So here we go. What do you think about plug and zoom? Well, I don't know. Let's take a look at zoom first. I'm gonna go bring up zoom here. You know, ZM. All right. And, it just, unfortunately, Zoom video tends to just continue to grind lower. I mean, basically, I think this was sort of the COVID play. It did really great up until about October. And then as you can see, it's just been downward since. So, if it reverses, maybe I'll be interested in this again. Nice earnings on it. Some nice earnings happened last quarter, but overall, unfortunately, this one is pulling back. So, you know, it's not really a good place to buy it. We're below the 50-day line. We've got a relative strength of 10. We've got sell signals everywhere. So my take on this is just not the right time for Zoom. Sorry about that. It just it might have been last year's stock. Hopefully it'll hold up. But I'm currently out of it, and I've been out of it for a while. Zoom video just doesn't seem to want to hold. Where we want to go. Let's look at Nvidia now. Of course, I am a holder of Nvidia. I still have a lot of conviction in this stock. But of course, like everything else, you can only go so far. This one pulled back. It's not quite at the 21-day line. Kind of want to show you. I kind of want to show you that. Let me pull it. Let me zoom in a little bit on that. There we go. All right. As you can see, there we go. You can see it. We can see it a little bit better here. There. Okay. So basically, this is actually not bad action. It seems like it's bouncing at the 21 line, which is right, was right about 5% above the pivot. So here's the thing with Nvidia. It does seem like it's getting some strength. I'm hoping it will hold this, but it's probably going to be going sideways. I'll be honest with you, probably going to be going sideways here for a little bit. So if you're in Nvidia, I don't think it's time to sell or anything like that. But if you're not, probably wait to see if this pulls back a little bit more. We may be back into the buy zone, but I wouldn't probably be initiating a new position here because we are above. We're 5% above the 207.33 buy point. So probably don't want to initiate a new position here. But everything else, but if you have it, it's probably a good time to hold it. So let's next look at PayPal. This one's off as well. And there we go. Yeah, and fortunately, PayPal has fallen below that very critical 21-day line. That's the screen line here. It does seem to be getting some strength, but this might be, this was a failed reversal. It went up. I'm going to reactivate that reversal line, but basically, it has fallen below the reversal line. So, we might want to consider trimming the position here. Just because it made a breakout, but it didn't make it above that. This has been an interesting thing in this market. What's really been working well have been the reversals and not necessarily coming above the buy point. So I want to show you a bunch of shares here, and let's go to. And I want to kind of go over the oil sector, so we can take a look at some of the things there to see kind of if there's anything that we can possibly possibly get a beat on. So I'm going to go over here to this is going to be there we go. Okay, so what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the industry sector, which contains the E&Ps. These are the exploration and production companies. This seems to be working right now. Whereas a lot of the growth stocks, not so much, but this seems to be working. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go to the E&P, and that's going to be 1, 2, 3. Okay. So let's see, where is the E&P? I think it's like 47. Where is it? Where is it? I should have this on the top of my list. Okay, let's see if I can. Well, let me look at Matador. MTDR. This is in the group. That's how we can do it quickly. It's in group 46, so that's kind of where we want to look. at the entire group. All right. Group number 46. And I'm just rearranging here. Number 46. This is the group that I'm particularly interested in because I do think that, well, I do think that there is, once again, with this inflation, you were starting to see movement into it. As you can see, it bottomed, it bounced off the 200-day moving average, and now it's above the 40 days. So this is, and with an E&P rating of 79. So this, we're starting to see even more strength in that group. So the number one, of course, is EOG, but the one I want to really look at is Devon DVN, and this one is starting to set up. I don't own this one currently. I own the ETF, which is the XLE, but this one is starting to set up very nicely. Relative strength of 95. It's got a checklist. Basically, the only thing that it's missing out on is the earnings per share. So this is looking very, very good. This is one I think that, if you're looking for a place to go in this market, I mean, I've been pretty much selling, but if you're looking at a place to go in the market that seems to be getting strength, it is the oils, and one of the best ones is Devon Energy, and it is looking pretty good. Relative strength of 95. So, in terms of all the other sectors of the market, it does seem like the oils are getting most of the love. So that's just the way it is. How many distribution days on the Nasdaq is it time for the market? Yeah, it's getting close to market under pressure. I think we have 4 distribution days on the Nasdaq, and so it is looking like we are probably going to move to an uptrend under pressure. If we can't keep things going, there is sort of a defensive move in the market, and that is essentially into these oils. That seems to be where seems to be where the strength is. So it seems to be where the strength is. Okay, this is from Mr. B. Any word on Apple, AAPL? Let's take a look. And let's take a look at Apple. It does look like we've got some strength, right at that, right at the 40, right at the 50 day. It looks like it's bounced. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on that. Yeah. It basically went down to 149.55, and then it just moved up after hours. So it is getting some support here. It's been testing right about this level, 144.50, 150. So it does seem like it's getting some support here. This is a pretty nice reversal. The question is, can you buy it at this level? Well, yeah, I mean, I still wouldn't be adding to a position here, but if you have Apple right now, definitely want to keep it. But right now, I just think it's not necessarily an optimal place to enter the market. Any good energy stocks that you recommend? Well, I like Devon, as I said before, DVN. I like that one. I also like Denbury, DEN. So DVN and DEN. So let's look at Denbury Resources here. Let me show you that one. That one isn't quite as good a chart as Devon. Devon is a little better chart, but still quite good in and of its own right. This one has a very strong relative strength, 98. So this is actually a stronger relative strength, but I think Devon, DVN, and Matador are the 2 best ones. Now, what I did is I didn't try to decide. On this. What I did is I just bought the XLE, which is the Spider ETF for the entire sector. And let's look at that one, XLE. And this is what I was buying this morning. Because basically this basically covers everything that is in all of these other ones. The critical thing with the XLE, and the reason I bought it is because there's about 58 different companies that are in this sector. So I think it's better. I wanted to get a little bit of a portfolio effect there, and that's why I bought the XLE. But nice relative strength and increasing volume. So this is one thing that you might want to look at, the Energy Select Sector Spider. This one is showing strength. The rest of the market, not so much. The rest of the market is not showing a lot of strength, but the XLE is showing strength. So that is a very good thing. All right. Okay. What do you think about KKR? Well, KKR, that's an interesting one. I was buying some Goldman Sachs today, but it wasn't a new buy. Yeah, I mean KKR is is definitely a Wall Street favorite, that's for sure. And it looks like it's got strength at that 40-day line, so that's looking strong. It is a little extended though. The buy point on it is 59.15, so we've kind of missed the buy point on the stock. Let me see if I can find something good for everyone here. I want to kind of look to see if there's anything that we can find that might be breaking out that I have missed. And let's see if I can do that. So let's go here. So let's see. Star Bulk. Yeah, this is one. This one is also potentially something that you might want to look at. It's called Star Bulk Carriers, SBLK. It's got a relative strength of 98, which is very good. I'm not in the stock, but it has a superb checklist. I may be buying this one this week or tomorrow. I'm not sure. Earnings were up 763% when they announced. That was about 2 weeks ago. But the numbers on this have been stellar. This is something that typically will do well in sort of in sort of the kind of market condition that we're in now with a lot of inflation. These carriers typically do well. They can pass along all their costs, so they're typically doing very well. So this is one that you might want to consider. Star Bulk Carriers, SBLK. Let's see if I can find another one here for you. Let's see. Okay, this is a China company. You want to steer clear of the China companies probably for right now due to the political situation. There also is another shipping stock. So it's a little extended called Safe Bulkers. I currently have Matson, but I have been selling. I've been taking profits on Matson. I'm looking kind of for another one right now. For some reason the uranium stocks have been doing good, and I don't know what this regional management company is, but anyways, this is okay. That's consumer credit. All right, here we go. Medical stuff. It's a tough market out there right now. I'll be honest with you. Just not a lot of stuff looking incredibly good here. I'm just running through. For some reason, uranium is getting a lot of love right as of late. I'm not in any of the uranium stocks, but it seems to be doing well. So I don't know why that is the case, but indeed it is. So there you go. Some biosciences. So it's really a mixed bag. Tough market to trade right now. I've been moving kind of into cash and you know, just just trying to keep into cash. And then we did of course the energy stocks. If you want to play the energies, probably the easiest way to do it is with the sector select, the XLE, and that's the one that I have. So rare earth mining. Yeah, thanks, Dinesh. Let's look at MP. Some of these are great. I mean, I definitely think there's a demand for rare earths, but the problem with mining stocks is that they take several years to become profitable. So that can be a difficulty. But it seems as if these guys do have cash flows, so that is indeed a good thing. Just taking a look at their chart, 89 relative strength, so that's looking good. We're at a consolidation ratio that looks like they just bounced off the 50-day move, the 200-day moving average, 78 in terms of a checklist. So overall, looking good. The only thing is, this is not a particularly strong area of the market. Mining and metal ore is only 131 out of 197. So I would be a little bit concerned about this one. The stock is set up well. It's earning nicely, but my biggest concern on this is that the area that it's in is not performing all that well right now. I mean, in terms of the sector of the stock market. So I'd be a little concerned about. I'm just a little bit concerned about MP. Let's look at NUE. NUE. Nucor, and of course, this is one of the steel stocks. There we go. Thanks, Brian. We did have a nice cup, and it seems like it's forming a cup with handle. More than likely, here's what you want to do with a stock like this. I'm looking at the weekly chart here. Let's see it. Let's take a look at the daily chart. This is a stock that, if you're not already in it, you possibly could draw a trend line like this to give us sort of an indication on when to move into that stock. Um, you know, right now, right now it's pulling back. It's below the buy point at 110, but this is looking much more like a cup with handle than a cup. So I think you could buy this one, but I would be waiting for it to reverse. But right now, unfortunately, Inu is not really viable. It's pulling back. It's getting ready to bounce. Now the question is, how is it going to close tomorrow or the next day? And that is to see if it will bounce off that 40-day line. So that's really the key there as to kind of what it's going to look like. Let's look at Zillow. Of course, these people are trying to flip houses, but I still don't like this chart. It's below the 200-day line. It has been on sort of a downward trend. Let's look at the month at the weekly chart here, and as you can see, oops. Let's see if it'll let me. No, it moved me out of that one. Let's see if we can go back to Zillow. There we go. Uh, we do have this downward trend on Zillow. So I can't really get behind this one right now. Relative strength of 11. So this is definitely the air is pushing out of the tire here on this one. So I would not buy this one. It's currently in a downtrend. So with Zillow, I would just be a little bit careful here. This is in a downtrend. Do not buy. So I wouldn't be a buyer for this one, because I wanna see something that's gonna move higher. This unfortunately is moving lower. So with Zillow, it's just in a downtrend. I think you got to be careful with this one, and I would not be a buyer for Zillow. I just wouldn't be a buyer for it. It just doesn't look right in terms of in terms of it. Bought CLR for $33. Now it's 40. Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Let's look at CLR. All right. Continental Resources. You know what? I wouldn't sell this one. I wouldn't sell this one. I wouldn't sell Continental Resources. I'd hold it. I'd hold it. Because here's the thing: the oil and gas is gaining some strength. It's coming right up to the SPY point, so this is looking really good. I mean, I think that I think this is one's got a I think this is what got a ways to go. So here's my take on CLR. I mean, I think just let your winners run. You know, so that would be my that'd be my advice here. Just let your winners run on this one. Just keep on maybe push your stop loss up. Maybe I would consider putting a stop loss up a little bit, but let your winners run on this one. This is a good stock, and you've done well on that. I mean, you should be that's a good little movement. 33 to 40. I think it's going to go higher. I mean, looking at this chart, I think we could easily see 50 by the end of the year. So, I wouldn't be a seller on this one right now. All right, let's look at the trade desk TTD, and of course this split 10 for 1. We did a nice little split trade on this one, but ever since it's just not. For some reason, it just hasn't been cooperative, and it's been sort of moving downward. So let's kind of take a look at the daily chart to check that out. Yeah, it just dropped below the 200-day moving average. I just don't like to buy stocks below the 200-day moving average that are headed lower. And it did get a little bounce in the after hours. It's up about 15 cents, so maybe it's going to change direction here. But I can't get really behind TTD right now. I just think it's too. I think it's just too weak a stock. I just think it's too weak a stock. So I would not be a buyer of TTD. Let's look at docs. I think, oh yeah, okay, Doximity. This isn't bad. I did trade this one briefly. I basically traded it for, a grand total of about a day, and it did move up out of the IPO. But the IPOs are tough, I mean, it definitely has, it's definitely starting to form a nice base and move up. But looks like we formed a nice IPO base, and then we're moving up there. And the earnings per share were up tremendously, so that's all looking pretty good. But I just I don't know. This is a tough one. The relative strength line is pointing down. So here's my thing on this one. I just probably would not be in this one. I probably would not be in this one, even though I said, I did buy a half position here, basically on the IPO base, and then unfortunately it pulled back, and I was shaken out. It was a weekend there, and it did come back. So I could be all washed up on this one, but I have traded this one, and unfortunately I did not. Basically I had a 60, 85 good till cancel stop loss. It pulled back, and I could have had 30% there. So I just have to learn to grin and bear it. But it may be going higher, so I don't know about this one. But I'm not in it right now. All right, let's look at Facebook. Jay, thanks. And Facebook, yeah, just keeps on going. Just keeps on going. I haven't traded Facebook since last year. I was pretty active in Facebook last year. Not so much that, well, no, I guess I'm just trying to look here. Facebook setting up. Okay. Um, yeah, I mean it's still looking very good. I mean it's still looking very good. There was some selling today. Um, and it does seem to be, internet content's doing well. So that's, I definitely think the problem with buying in here, to be honest with you, is the last true buy point on it, was way back here. It was back basically last year, and it hasn't really based out since. So I think it's a good time probably to not buy it just because it's extended, and that's the main reason, is because it's extended. Let's take a look from TikTok. Okay, let's see. Thank you very much. SPR. What's up with the crypto? My profile is bleeding. Okay. Well, unfortunately, crypto, and I think I mentioned a little bit of this on the preview with Litecoin. I don't know if you saw that or not, but we did have a sort of a fake news. This is the problem with crypto in general, is that it's all stocks, but crypto it's really not a stock, so it can be very, very subject to rumor. Of course, the rumor, of course, was that Walmart was going to accept crypto, and of course that turned out to be false, and Litecoin basically took a dive on it. Right now, I think that there's a lot of forces that are allied against crypto. So I'm taking a little bit more of a go slow attitude. I want to take a look at the Gbtc, and this is the Grayscale Bitcoin Trust. This represents about 4% of the world's Bitcoin, and it tends to be a pretty good indicator of kind of where the overall market for crypto is going. And it's been pulling back, and it's below the 200-day line right now. So here's the thing on crypto. I just think you got to take it slow. I think this is a good time if you got profits in some of your crypto issues. It's a good time to probably start taking some profits. I think that it's probably a good time to start taking some profits in your crypto, because it does look like we're going to see some pullback here. At least that's what I'm seeing. Now, it's very hard to judge that, but I think in the short term, I think we're going to see some pullback on crypto. AMD, is AMD going back to the original buy point of 95? Boy, I hope not. But this is why AMD is such a hard stock to trade. I basically sold all my positions out at 116, and that was when it went up here. As you can see, there you go. And then I did buy in again, and then I sold out. So right now, I think you're right. Maybe you're right. I think it might be at least converging on the 40-day line, and that would be basically right at, trying to get the exact number there for you, about 102, 102.50. is where I think we're going to see, we probably will see some support for AMD. But right now, the trend, we have a downward trend, at least on the daily chart. And that is the direction of it. So it's not a good time, unfortunately, to buy it. We definitely could go back to, we could round trip it, and this is why it's so important when at least in this market, when you get some gains, to start taking stuff off the table, because this could very easily round trip back down to the buy point of 95.44. It's a great stock, but again, it has those issues. Also, I want to take a look at Nvidia. Take a look at Nvidia here. This one, it's still in an upward trend, but it also is seeming it wants to move back to that 207.33 buy point. So we'll see what happens here. I do think that we're going to see some support at the 21-day line, but the chips have been doing well as of late, but I don't think that may not continue, at least in the month of September. It just seems to be weak, and so again, I'm not buying any more positions for Nvidia right now, but definitely am, definitely kind of holding a lot of cash right now. That's sort of been my modus operandi. All right, this is a question for Roblox, RBLX, and of course, um, that was doing great in the summer, and it looks like it's starting to get, starting to get a little bit of support here. It's up after hours to 85. Um, and it does look like it's gotten some support at the 21-day line. That's very good. I mean, the question is, how is it going to close tomorrow? It does look like it's come down to and tested on that 21-day line. Will it go up tomorrow? Hard to say, but it is still in a downward trend. So I probably would not be buying it as we speak, because it is still, as you can see, it's still in a downward trend. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put a new, I'm going to put a new, let's see if I can put a new trend line on this. There we go. Let's get that going. Just going to kind of see if I can. Oh, all right. So it looks as if we have a trend line. We have a trend line here, but it seems like it's fallen below it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set an alert on that line. But currently, Roblox is moving lower, and so right now, Roblox is a watch list and not a buy, unfortunately. So that's kind of the situation with Roblox. So currently, RBLX is moving lower, not a buy. So that's kind of really what's happening with Roblox. They're still moving lower. I've put that reversal line there. Hopefully, we can see it move above that reversal line. But right now, unfortunately, not so much. Not so much on that. All right. Fortinet. This is from FTNT. Good company. The software security is doing well. It's one of the computer networking software. This is a good area to be fishing in, because it's 11 out of 197. So this is an area that definitely is worth your while. Now it's pulled back. It looks like it's going to test the 40-day line. There's been fairly a lot of selling here. It does look like it's going to test there. So I wouldn't buy it right now. I would wait to see if it bounces off that line. But this is a good place to look for potentials. And this is so computer software security. So let me see if I can find. Let me see if I can. Let's see if we can get the setup for that. And that's number 11, basically. Okay, let's see if I can. All right. Number 11. Oops. Okay, here we go. Well, that should have been different. Let's going back to the list here. So, yeah, computer software security. There we go. Okay, so this is computer software security. Just kind of wanted to look to see which stocks are the top leaders. Fortinet is the leader. Mimecast, I'm not familiar with Mimecast. Palo Alto Networks, of course I am. Nice Labs, and Rapid7. So probably the best bet is Fortinet. That looks like the best. Absolutely. That definitely looks like the leader. But unfortunately, it's very extended. So another, we're coming up with all these good stocks, but they're all extended, and it just does not pay in this kind of a market to buy extended. So I would be, I like the stock a lot, Jeet. I like it, but it's extended, so I would not buy it here. I just wouldn't buy it here. Just would not do it. Cute. Um, Clock? CLO? You mean Croc? Let me CLO. Let me just look at CLOC. I'm familiar with this stock. All right, let's see if that works. No, I think it's Crocs you're interested in. CROX. That's the plastic shoe company. And they are doing fairly well. It's amazing because they're able to sell their product for cost them like 30 cents to make, and they're selling it for $100. So that's a good profit margin. I would say. It looks like it's just moving right up the 40-day line. Not a really good place to buy it here. Not a really good place to buy it just because it is extended, and it does look like it's lost its support at 21-day line. So it's great, but I don't know. I think that I'm a little bit leery about it. It does have a 100% checklist, so that in and of itself is great. I want to look at the ownership here. Um, Lord Abbott, so and Fidelity Country Fund is in it, so it's got some very good support, but it's just a little extended. So I'd be a little bit careful with Crocs. I really would be. Oh, Clove. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Let's go to Upstart because that has been a tremendous stock, and that of course is they do credit scoring, and that has been a very big area because there's so much there's so much difficulty in doing that credit scoring. Here's the thing: it's a little bit extended. The buy point on it is 191.89. It's not a perfect place to buy it, but it's got extremely strong relative strength at 99. Overall, this is a very good stock. It's just that right now it's it's uh, it's moved above its buy point. Let me instead of just going with stocks that don't seem to be set it up correctly. Let's see if I can find some good setups here that might be a possibility for everyone. So let me just do that really quickly. And I'm going to go over and take a look for setups to see if we can just to see if we can get um, some decent setups here. So I'm going to go to the near pivot stocks, and these stocks are near their pivots. Right. Okay, so here we go. I'm just going to take a look. We're going to take a look at about 16 stocks here to see kind of what the deal is. Athene Holding, yeah. Okay, so this is basically a financial company. It's an insurer. Let's see if okay, Silicon Valley Bank. This is an interesting one. Flat base. Not really anything there. Visual management. Let's look at Translate Bio. It's got a tight range. No, not really anything there. This one is interesting. This is the Energis, Entergis symbol, ENTG. This one's not bad. It's got a relative strength of 80 6. I'm going to put this one on here. This potentially looks like it might be an options play, and I'm going to look at this one carefully tonight. This one looks like it might be an option play with something like a broken butterfly or something like that, because it looks like it's kind of going sideways. It's got a up with handle chart pattern, so that's very good. And overall, it looks, it looks pretty good in terms of its sales are up 27%. That's good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 quarters of better than 20% gain. That's excellent. Very nice gain in terms of profit. So this one is worth looking at. It's not extended, which I like. So this one possibly ENTERGIS, ENTG. Let me mark that down because I might be looking at putting something together with this one. ENTG. Currently, though, I am not in this stock. So let's get back to and see if we can find this one interesting. Pure Storage. This is a okay. So this is a chip company. Okay, kind of like interesting. Okay, let me look at 89. This isn't bad. 100% checklist. The only thing is this is the computer data storage area. Its rates low on that, but other than that, looks pretty good. Let me mark this one down as well. I'm gonna put a PSTG. I'm gonna look at that one as well. Let's kind of go on here. Moody's, of course, we all know about Moody's. They are the bond rating company. Expeditors. This is in the transportation shipment area. Stallbar carriers. This is the one that I was talking about earlier. This one is probably a potential buy. SBLK. And the reason being, of course, it's in one of the best sectors, transportation shipping, 14 out of 197, and it's right below a buy point with a cup handle, 98 relative strength. So this one definitely, you probably want to save this one to your, you might want to look at this one, Starbulk Carriers, SBLK. It's not a very expensive stock. It's only $24.15. I mean, it's not going to change the world, but not a bad stock. Hologic. And this is the one also that's pretty good. I'm not in this one either, but it's got a double bottom. So Hologic, Apollo Management, Focus Financial Partners. Yeah, this one also is very good. Seems like there's been a lot of, and of course our old friend Copart. It's right below a buy point, but I'm not really that excited about this. Very tight pattern. Carlyle Group, Semitech. Applied Materials. The issue with Applied Materials, of course, is that though they do manufacture semiconductor manufacturing equipment, which is a great area, their primary customers are Micron and I think Samsung, and basically these are companies that mainly do the commodity memory chips. So they're not as profitable as like a ASML in this category. Zoom Info. This is the interesting one. This is based in Singapore, I believe. And that's pretty much it. So out of those, I think Starbulk Carriers really and Energis are really the ones, ENTG and Starbulk Carriers. This is probably the ones you want to take a look at. I don't own either of them, but I may consider getting a position in them. All right, let's look at Workhorse, WKHS. And of course, this is a tough category because they did lose a contract, basically to Oshkosh for the postal vehicle. And that would have been really great. That would have them in work probably for 20 years. But WKHS, I think it is Workhorse. Yeah, there we go, Workhorse Group. Yeah, it's just falling off the edge of the world. Had they won that contract, I think this would have been great. But I'm afraid this is one that's probably going to go to sleep for a while. Currently selling at $8.71. It was at $42.96. I hope you don't own this one because this is why you got to enforce the 7% rule. I think it's just going to go lower and lower and lower, unfortunately. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I just don't think you want to be in workhorse right now. I don't think it's looking very good, unfortunately. All right. So, will Microsoft bounce back? Well, that's the question. You know, stocks don't go up every day. That's just a fact. Microsoft's pulling back a little bit, but overall it looks very, very strong. I mean, really, it's the only problem with, and this is the problem. This is why I keep talking about buying. You don't want to buy a stock extended, because unfortunately, as good as Microsoft is, and it's a great stock, currently it is extended. So you can't really buy this one. It is up after hours, 297.23, but not a good place to enter the stock. It probably will bounce back, and we'll probably get some support at the 21-day line. And that 21-day line is basically at 296. It's 297, so we're probably going to get some support at the 21-day line. So do expect this one to bounce and probably move a little bit higher. But the growth on Microsoft right now, it's slowing down a little bit. And also remember, this is September. It's a tough month for the market, and it's a tough market right now. And hopefully we'll start to see hopefully we'll start to see it turn. But right now we got to be a lot more defensive than we normally are, and it's hard because you're sitting there with all this cash. At least I am, and you're sitting there with all this cash, and you're like, well, what do I do? I want to invest it, but sometimes you can't do anything, and that's the hardest thing when you're investing, because you're sitting there with cash, you want to do something, it's just not happening. This was a meme stock, Clover Health, and unfortunately it's looks like it's headed downwards, 842. So can't recommend this one either. Sorry, Henry. I'm not trying to be sorry, Harry. I'm not trying to be not trying to be negative, but it just seems like I'm coming up with all these dry holes right now. So it's a tough market right now. Tough market to trade. Okay, crypto market is about to crash. Well, I don't know if the crypto market is gonna crash, but we do have some issues going on. ATOS. Let's look at that one. By the way, if you're looking on TikTok, I know this is strange. You're looking in the background and saying, "Well, where are the charts?" Well, unfortunately, with TikTok, I can't show the charts. I can only show them on YouTube. So the easiest thing to do is to just jump over to my webpage on YouTube by going to the by going to the my profile, clicking the link, and then there's a sub menu, and then you can click it there, because that's unfortunately, at least for right now, at least until I figure out how to do it to get those charts up on. I'm going to be stuck with that. So ATOS. All right, and this is another biotech. Interesting chart, very interesting chart. But typically, I wouldn't be a buyer of this one. It's below $10, and it is pulling back. So I can't recommend that one, unfortunately, right now for everyone. So let's see. I think we have one last question. Thank you, Jim. What is wrong? What are we gonna do with that? Well, no, I'm going to be here. I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around. I'm going to be around as long as I can, as until they throw me off. Until they throw me off. Well, okay, everybody, it's almost at the end of the hour. What I kind of like to say on the wrap up here is that right now it's a tough market to trade. Let me just be, you know, let me just say that it's a tough market to trade, but don't fret, okay? Because we're going to get to a point where we can, we're once again we're going to be able to trade this market. But right now, it's tough because the spider is, it's still holding. The spider's still holding, but we've seen a lot of weakness in the market. So just hopefully, just stay in cash. Currently, I'm about 50% in cash. I'm just looking for stuff that I can buy that won't hurt me too much. There are two stocks that I kind of like right now. I'm not in them. One is Starbolt Carriers, SBLK. It's set up very nicely, and then ENTG. So those are really the two that I like. Let's look at Starbulk again, SBLK, and I do think that this one is set up very nicely, and this probably, but you can never tell. This one probably is going to go higher. This is a shipping line, and of course, because of the inflation that's coming on, that's kind of the theme here. We're going to see some. Unfortunately, we're going to see a lot of inflation, and the transportation companies should do well, and the E&P companies, the oil and exploration companies should do as well. Do well as well. Okay, well, thank you very, very much. If you want to get on our action trade alerts, super easy to do. I'm going to probably send out the ready list tonight. I'm going to get that ready and send it out to everybody that's on the action trade alerts. This is free, so all you have to do is go to www.dallastradingfloor.com, or if you're watching on TikTok, just go to the my bio, click the link, and first and last name and an email address, and we'll get you right in on that. So until tomorrow, thanks everybody, and happy trading. I'll be back at 3:30 tomorrow, and hopefully you don't have your questions ready, and I'll try to get through everybody as best I can. Happy trading, everybody, and happy Monday. And I hope I hope that to see you back here tomorrow at 3 at 3:30.